Hello, and welcome to Silicon Valley Girls Chat Over Tea. I'm Gloria.
And I'm Rosetta. Hi, everyone over here.
And in the spirit of kindness and compassion, we always want you to listen to one another. And as we share our thoughts on our chat, we hope you will be open and kind to our conversation today.
Yes, we do. And as you can see, technology, we're not together today, but through technology, we can be together. And if there's any technical difficulties, excuse me in advance.
Absolutely. Not our intention.
All right. Okay, so thanks everyone again. I want to say thank you because we always appreciate our guests that are coming in and supporting us, our viewers, our watchers. And if you haven't already, we'd love for you to, after you watch this video, to hit the thumb icon to this tells us that you've watched the video and you like it, and subscribe to our channel and hit that bell notification so you don't miss any of our videos. Okay, we are going to start with the teas we're drinking. And because we're not together, we have two teas that we're going to be talking about today.
Yes, we do.
Yeah. And the tea that I'm drinking, it is called Organic Ginger Turmeric Herbal Tea. Can you
Ooh.
see that? There you go.
Yes.
And it's
Yes.
by WholeFoods. Ginger turmeric. I used to drink this a lot and I haven't done it in a while, so I thought maybe I'd do it again. It's a herbal tea. It says liven up or wind down, spicy, citrusy blend, caffeine free. It's organic and it has, let's see, where are the ingredients? Right, need my glasses here.
I do too. I'm looking for some glasses. The print is so tiny.
My glasses. Bear with me here right now. It is organic turmeric, organic orange peel, organic ginger, organic licorice, ha ha ha, organic orange oil, and organic black pepper. And this is again 365 organic ginger turmeric herbal tea. Here you go.
Here you go.
And what are you drinking today, Gloria?
Okay, today I am drinking the Tazo. Oh, wow, mine came in clear. Look at that.
Yes.
Yes. And this is the wild sweet orange tea. It ingredients are, let me turn this over so I can read them all for you. You know how Rosetta taught us all about the importance of blackberry. So the ingredients are lemongrass, blackberry leaves, citrus acid, rose hip, spearmint leaves, turmeric for color, orange peel, hibiscus flower, rose petals, natural orange essence, ginger root, licorice, and licorice extract. So
Yay,
lots
you
of,
have some of the same ingredients I have as well.
yes, yes.
What a
So,
coincidence. So we're going
yes.
to be doing our cheers. Cheers, everyone.
Cheers, everyone.
Yummy. Very good. Love it.
Oh my God. I have to take this to the studio. We might have to do an instant repeat the next time we're together.
Yes, I'd like to
I
try
mean,
that.
the flavors, everything that I just described, when you drink it or smell it, you get a little bit of it.
Okay, I love it.
Wow. Yummy, yummy, yummy. Okay. So, as always, our thoughts and prayers go out to the human race. Rosetta and I are, we're pretty conscious individuals, and it's difficult some days to wake up to the violence and the unnecessary loss of lives that we're experiencing in our world today. And, particular this week, we want to send our thoughts and prayers out to the members of the LGBTQ plus community that was severely impacted at Club Q by a lone gunman who was upset. I love how Sonny Hostin on The View said, if you don't like gay people, don't go to the club. Why go to the club and shoot up the club? You know, just very, very devastating. Tomorrow's Thanksgiving. We should be thinking happy, loving, kind thoughts, being with family. A lot of people are traveling for the first time in 3 years to be with their loved ones. And now you have to worry. And in addition, there was also a shooting at the Walmart in Chesapeake, Virginia. So once again, violence, and it's not like someone goes into the store and they're mad at a person. They take guns that just spray. So they have killed several individuals.
Yeah, it's really sad. And this is right before Thanksgiving. The Colorado one was this past weekend, and just last night was the Walmart one. And as I say, it's always to do with, I just feel that it's in this country, it's so easy to gain access to guns, unlike where I'm from, the UK, we don't even have guns. Even policemen don't even carry guns. So I say that what we need to do is eliminate having guns altogether. And this would actually, I believe in my whole hearts, it would
Yes.
actually prevent and stop all these mass shootings, because I'm floored by the number of mass shootings we've been having. And Gloria and I talk about this all the time, even like from the beginning of the year, and we're in November now. There's been so many every day we've been having a mass shooting. So this
Yes.
has got to stop. This is, and I really, really deeply, I have all the families of anyone that was injured, of anyone that was, killed. You're in my prayers and thoughts, because this is a horrific, any time of the year is horrific, but especially around Thanksgiving, where you're trying to be thankful and grateful for friends, family, the things you have. And now you're like, no longer have one of your family members. It's devastating.
Right. I mean, it just makes it very, very hard. And I can't imagine being a parent right now with a child. How do you explain to a child about, you know, don't do that? Good people, would never behave that way. Good people don't do that. And every day your child is seeing someone, a part of a mass shooting. It's sad and devastating. Very sad.
It is kind of sickening in some way.
Yeah. Like you just said, the negativity in our world is just increasing and increasing. And, you know, um, I just cannot believe, like Rosetta always says, it's from the top down. So if you look at our government right now, there is a party called the Republican Party that's very separated, because there are traditional conservative Republicans, and then there are what I call the cray-cray Republicans. And what's happening is that they are being allowed to infiltrate the Republican Party, and like act out like someone will say, well, the Jews cause global warming. I mean, if you make a statement like that, I think you should be sent home. I don't think you should stay in the government. And Rosetta and I were always thinking of ways of how to curtail some of the negativity. And up until a few weeks ago, Twitter had started putting in restrictions. If you appear to be crazy, they just took you off the platform altogether. And now that it's owned by Elon Musk, he's putting everybody back. And marketers on there are finding that they are creating accounts that, like, say, for example, you're Walmart, and then they will create a bogus Walmart, and then they will say something negative, or they will do something that Walmart would never, ever, ever do. And, you have to have a gatekeeper if you have a platform. So President 45 got his account back. Kanye West got his account back. Kyrie Irving got his account back, and on and on and on. And I just hope that everyone is thinking, is this really where I want to spend my time, or is it time for me to just move on? Because Rosetta and I always tell you, cause and effect. You can't just keep acting bad and never, ever, ever, ever be held accountable. Even President 45. I mean, I don't know when and how, because we've all seen him do a lot of bad things. One day he will have to atone for his actions. I don't care how great thou thinks that thou art, he will have to atone.
And I've already, not that I use Twitter a lot, I just was on it to follow some few celebrities that I like, some people that I like, and I've deactivated my account. No longer have that app on my phone.
There you go. And I've heard a lot of people say that. So you were sharing with me, I had recently seen on Good Morning America that Bruce Willis was, kind of under the weather. And Rosetta did a little bit more research on what's going on with Bruce.
Yeah, Bruce Willis, he actually announced that he was retiring because he was diagnosed with a condition called aphasia. And I'm not
Mhm.
sure if, people get diagnosed with different chronic disease. And
Right,
does everybody really know what that chronic disease really means? What extent is it? What is the progression rate? How do we get this? What are the symptoms? And how do we determine when is the right time to go and see a doctor if things get worse enough? And
right.
it's really sad because Bruce Willis, he's loved by everyone, all the movies
Yes,
and Die Hard and remember Moonlighting with Sybil Shepherd. That's
yes.
yeah. So I was just when I was doing my research, I'm like, this is really sad
I
because
thought that was Nicolas Cage.
no, that's Moonlighting is Bruce Willis. He was in that.
Oh,
Yeah,
oh, the TV show.
the
I'm
TV
thinking about the
show.
movie with
No,
Cher.
yeah,
Sorry.
yeah, that's yes, that's him. But the TV show Moonlighting
Yes,
was
yes.
I loved that show. I just waited for
I
that
did too.
every week to come on. But I loved it,
Yes.
and I did some because I didn't even know what aphasia was. So I did some Googling and tried to educate myself. And I found out that it is really a it's in the brain, degenerative brain disease, and it affects the speech and communication. And some of the symptoms are speaks in short or incomplete sentences, speaks in sentences that don't make sense, speaks unrecognizable words, having difficulty finding the words to say, not understanding other people's conversations, not understanding what they read, and they write sentences that don't make sense. So
Wow.
it's really sad because this is your interaction with other people. And if you can't interact with other people and really hold a conversation, then this is affecting your social life. So you can't go out because you won't understand what people are saying. So they said
Right.
that the cause of this is not 100% sure, but they say that it happens after you have sometimes happens after a stroke or a head injury. So I don't know how Bruce Willis,
Wow.
you know, how that was diagnosed, but it could be a progressive disease, they say. And they say there's a lot of like when is it time for someone to go and see a doctor? If you have a loved one and you're not sure, then these are some of the symptoms to look out for. And it's ready for time for you to go and see a doctor or seek some professional help is when you notice that they have difficulty in speaking, trouble understanding speech, difficulty with words, recalling a lot of conversations, problems with reading or writing. So those are the times when you want to seek further medical assistance because
Okay.
something is happening. But it's really sad. And he used to travel a lot because he had a lot of homes in different parts of the world. And he's actually sold a lot of those houses. They used to live in New York, him and his wife. Forget Emma, that's her name, Emma. And
Right.
they sold the house in New York and now they're living in Brentwood, California because he's not able to travel at all. I mean, not even like
Wow.
he didn't even cut down his travel. He's not able to travel whatsoever. So his wife, Emma, and the children, because he had, I don't know how many children he had with Demi Moore, right? He had,
Demi. I think he
yes.
had what, three girls?
Yeah, I think he must have had three girls because I know Rumor was one of them, and then there were
Right.
two others. But
Right.
it's really sad that things like this is happening, and he's his this aphasia is really I mean, really to the point where he can't even go out. It's really putting a burden on everyone because, it's not an easy thing when you have a chronic
Right.
disease and
Condition.
yes, chronic condition, and you end up having to, as the spouse, you're taking care of your spouse 24/7. And we
Yeah.
don't know how long, the lifespan or time span someone has with this condition. How fast is the progression? And are there things that you can do to actually slow it down? So maybe in a future chat,
Yes.
I'll look that up. Like, is there any holistic modalities that we can do to maintain or lessen the speed of how it progresses?
Okay. That's awesome. Well, Bruce, we send our prayers for a a good quality of life as you go through this experience, because I'm sure for someone who is as expressive as he is, it is difficult. So we're just keeping you in our prayers that everything's going to transition as smoothly as humanly possible.
Yes.
Now, as we mentioned before, everyone is traveling again for Thanksgiving. And the thing that amazes me the most, and I can hear my family saying that's because they're like, that's because you wouldn't spend that money. Travel prices have gone up 43% since last year. So the things that are really crazy is that we keep talking about inflation, inflation, inflation. Yet every time they increase the price, people keep paying, paying, paying. People, listen to Rosetta and I. If you never stop, there's no incentive for them to stop. So if you want the prices to go down, stop paying the high prices. It's pretty
Exactly.
simple.
Exactly. It's like the gas prices. We don't have to use those five big companies last week we discussed, right? That are making those billion-dollar revenues, right?
Yes.
We can opt for alternatives. It's our choice. But the sad thing is that people, they don't, that's, here is the thing. People don't want to stop their lives just because inflation has gone up. So it's kind of like a catch 22 to me because it's like,
Yes.
well, I still want to travel, but then I don't really want to pay that much. But then I guess I have to in order to go and see my
To
family over
travel.
Thanksgiving. Yeah. So I don't know. It's inflation and then it's never deflation. It's always inflation and
Right.
then it stays and then we wait till the
Well,
next inflation.
there's this saying, inflation goes up like a rocket and comes down like a feather.
Yeah.
The price of gas goes up like a rocket, comes down like a feather. However, we can fix some of that by just saying no. It's like I have a threshold of how much I'll pay for a gallon of gas. If it goes over that, then I just change my schedule around and I tell people I would love to see you in person. However, I'm not going to pay, that much for gas. So how about we do Zoom like we're doing? There are things that you can do. And I know, there's nothing like being in person because we've been separated for so long. However, my husband's brother just did a flight from from Portland, Oregon to the Bay Area. And he is 6'7". And, like back in the day, if you sat in the emergency row, that was a perk, but they gave it to people. It wasn't like you had to pay for it. They make you pay now to sit in the emergency row. It's an upgrade. If you want a window seat, you have to pay to get a window seat. They have all these stipulations now of things that they're doing just to make more money, more money. And the scariest thing I just heard, they are actually thinking about putting planes in the air with only a single pilot, no co-pilot.
What?
Yeah,
How is that possible? That doesn't make
because they're
sense.
trying to cut costs and make more money.
Do they really think that this is safe? For one, it's not safe because anything could
No.
happen. You need a backup person. I would
Yes.
say it's ridiculous. They have two
Yeah.
right now. They need to keep it at
Yes.
two. Don't change what a good thing. It's for emergencies. That's what I'm worried about. Anything could happen. You need a second
Yeah.
opinion while on the plane. One
There used to
person is
be
not.
4 people in the cockpit. There was
Wow.
the pilot, the co-pilot, there was an engineer, and then there was a transportation person. But they had 4, and they went from 4 to 2. And now they're talking about going from 2 to 1. And I know that the autopilot thingy is on the plane, but in an emergency, that may or may not work.
I
You
don't
need
know
at
if I
least
feel
2.
safe on a plane
I
with just
know.
one pilot.
So now I'm going to be the crazy person that, when I get to the window to check in, I'm going to say, how many pilots do we have today? Because I want to know. There are 2.
Well, if they say one, what are you going to do? You already paid for the flight.
Oh, I'm going to tell them I can't because I have anxiety and I could lose my mind on the plane and try and open a door or do something. So how about I just reschedule? And I'm sure they'll let me reschedule once I start acting cray cray, because they don't want me on the plane as much as I don't want to be on the plane, because I just think that's dangerous. But it
Yeah.
was interesting. And he was like, you would be in shock about everything that they charge for. And he wanted a bottle of water, and it was like $3-4 for a little bottle of water. And he goes, they're just gouging you, but they know they got you.
Well, they know, but people are not going to pay for it because I'd rather just go to the, in the airports, they have those, what is it, newsstands and little
Yes.
shops where they sell that. So people are just buying it themselves. So
Yes.
I don't know. It's just
I don't know.
crazy. They charge
Crazy.
us whatever they want.
I know, but one day things are going to be better because we're going to have choices again. Now,
Yeah.
I am not a cryptocurrency girl. I have seen it on the market for years. I've watched it go up. I've watched it go down. When at one point I was like, oh, this might be a cool investment. But then they said, if you ever lose your password, you will
Yeah.
never gain access to your crypto. That was concerning because I thought, I can barely remember some things I did yesterday, not everything. So I didn't want to do that. And then they were like, you got to guard this password. So I didn't want to just put it
Can't you
somewhere.
just reset the password?
If you don't know the original one, you can't, because the first thing you do to reset is enter your old password.
Really? So you can't say
Really?
forgot password and then you just enter a
Nope.
new one.
There's a young man that's got
Wow.
like I think he's got something like $45 million that he has in crypto, but he doesn't remember the password, so he can't get his own money. They know
Wow.
it's him. They know he
Wow.
created the account. They know everything about him, but the backup is if you don't know the password. So
Sorry, you're out of luck.
you're out of luck. So there's this company called FTX, and FTX is run by a guy. What is his name? Sam Bankman. Now, Sam Bankman owned FTX, and FTX was just banging. I mean, you've seen commercials during the Super Bowl with Curry,
Yes.
Warriors, the coach from the Warriors, Tom Brady. And they've even been some movie stars talking about, well, I don't have to worry about it. I got my app on my phone, blah, blah, blah. So they experienced a problem with funds being available for their customers. So then the CEO of they're the number 2 cryptocurrency company, and the number 1 company, finance. Their owner decided, or their CEO decided, I'm going to put on blast the fact that you cannot fulfill your customers. If all your customers said, give me my money back, you couldn't do it. And he put it on Twitter. So everybody started running to banks trying to get their cryptocurrency money, and they couldn't. So this company, FTX, lost $32 billion, which appears like it was overnight. One day everybody's rich, and the next day it's like poof, it's gone. So my question to you, Rosetta, is would you ever put your money in cryptocurrency?
That would be a hard no. Well, for one, I've never really had the interest to get myself educated more about crypto. And I
Right.
usually, if I'm interested, I really like to understand what everything is. You know how we are. We like to do research and understand what
Yes.
things are. but I've
Yes.
never had that interest. I don't know why. It's just not something that's interesting to me. And I feel like this is your money, it's in la la land, and you can never, I mean,
Yeah.
what do you use? You can't buy things with it. Well, the other thing was I was at Oak Ridge Mall the other day, and I did notice, my husband pointed this out. They have a cryptocurrency teller machine that you could take out money. Can you believe that?
So you can withdraw from
Well,
cryptocurrency.
I didn't know you could do that, but there's this company that I've never heard of it, never seen. It's the first time in my life I've seen this standalone. It looks like a ATM machine where you
Wow.
can withdraw cryptocurrency. I'm like, what?
Wow.
So there you go. There's one
There
place
you
that's
go.
doing it, but I don't know. I mean, I'm not really set on. I think it's even though people really say that they understand it and they're saying that, oh, it's doing really well, I still have my doubts and I haven't
Yeah.
really looked into it. It's not solid enough for me to want to buy some cryptocurrency or Bitcoin or do anything. I just,
Anything like that.
yeah. Yeah, so now not for me. I don't think so. Sorry. If any of you out there are watching and if you have anything to say, then you can put it in the comments below. But for now, I would say no, thank you.
Yes. And I concur. You know, sometimes, like now, I wish I had access to executives of companies because when Elon Musk took over Twitter, he announced, I mean, he hadn't even taken full possession of the company, and he said he was going to lay off 50%. And they started out around 7,500 employees, and they're around 2,500 now. And he's put in some awful mandates like you must, if you work here, you're going to do Twitter 2.0, you're going to work 80-hour weeks. There are individuals who have disabilities, and he's like, I don't care. The premise is he doesn't care because, they were people that were told, come back to work or lose your job. There are individuals who have immune compromise issues related to COVID. And that's why they were working from home, is to keep them safe. And there's not a whole lot of, love, going on there. So then Facebook, they started doing layoffs. And, it's like every day somebody's doing a layoff of some type. So my thing is that when you do your either third quarter, which is September 30th date, or like Apple, that is their end of their fiscal year because they do a fiscal year. So September 30th is their end of year. And then October, November, December, Q1 is of the next year. They don't do a calendar year, they do a fiscal year. You should sit down with people and say, if we have to do any layoffs, we need to do them now. Don't wait till Thanksgiving to start laying people off. It's a horrible time. I mean, they're talking about the level of depression that's going through the United States as well as the world because of the isolation. And there are young people who've never ever experienced a layoff. Older people like myself, we've learned how to roll with the punches. Young people's, they're swipey kids. They live to the fullest. I mean, some of them don't even know what the word savings mean. They're just enjoying life. I think it's going to be kind of traumatic. And I think it would have been a little less painful if they had gotten some kind of heads up. Or, like when I worked at Apple before they did a layoffs, they gave us training, and they would, put us back to back and have us talk to people. And, you'd say, I'm really sorry, I'm going to have to lay you off. And they go, I hate your guts. And I mean, we actually, went through the process so that we could be as loving and as kind and as passionate. And, like Elon Musk, they sent emails. That's a horrible, horrible way to inform people that there's something detrimental to your life about to happen via email.
Oh, it's terrible. And I've been saying this, and I think what he should have done as coming in, but this is what I say he should have done. But him being
Right.
Elon Musk, he's not going to do anything like that. Would buy the company and actually go in and tread lightly and actually understand the company more, the employees, how things work, who are the main players, what are their positions, and then decide, after having an overall look at the company, where the people are, what makes sense, then do whatever he needs to do, instead of just going in
Yes.
and saying, oh, I'm going to lay off 75% of my staff, without,
Yes.
and then days later he asks them to come back.
Right.
And then he's saying, okay, now everybody has to click here and agree to this, working 40, 80 hours a week, or whatever, how many hours a week. If not, then you can go. You can just
Yeah.
leave the company.
Yeah. And you'll
That's,
get 3 months severance.
yeah,
That's
3 months in the Bay Area is nothing, because you can
it.
blow through that very quickly with just
Yeah. In a month or
mortgage,
2 months,
2 months,
depending on your bills.
mortgage, bills,
Yes.
inflation,
Yes.
all the
Car
price.
payments, because a
Yes,
lot of young people have new cars.
I know. So he should have really, that's what I'm
Yeah.
saying he should have done, but that's not what he's going to do, because him
Yeah.
being Elon Musk is, he does it his own way, which is rude and no empathy towards people's
Yeah.
lives and their families, and how they're going to feed their families when they get laid off.
Yes. So sad. So, the most important thing we can tell you is, I know Elon Musk, I know he probably didn't even think of this the way he's doing emails. Other companies that are having to do layoffs, they will provide services where you can go in and you can talk to someone, because it's pretty devastating to go from a viable job to nothing during the holidays. So reach out. And if they don't offer the services, then reach out to your friends, especially if you have older friends in your sphere. And, just tell them, I don't know what to do. But don't feel alone. You're not alone. You can comment below and we'll reach out and talk to you, because we want you to know that there's life after this. And even though it is a very, very horrible, horrible time in your life, if you've been laid off, there will be something bigger and better. And like Rosetta just said, he laid off people, and then he found out, oh my God, I need that person. One of the individuals he laid off was like the moderator over speech hate or something to that effect. So that meant that he got rid of the gatekeeper. So, and always know that just because that door closes, another one may open in a few moments, weeks, days. It just takes time.
Yep, it does. And I do, empathize with everyone going through this situation. But again, there are employees that don't even want to stay anymore because of what's been happening.
Yes, yes. And some of them have found some great jobs. And even when he went to get them back, they're like, sorry, I'm good. So be careful how you treat people. That's one thing I do know. Be careful how you treat people.
Exactly.
Talking about treating people, Lord, Lord, Lord. Well, on one hand, yay, Bachelor in Paradise is done. On the other hand, there were so many oh my God moments. I know, Rosetta. I was sitting there and I had my husband laughing at me. I told him, I said, I watch when they show those watch parties, and I was like, God, who would do that? Last night, I wish you and I had done a watch party, because there were so many. Oh my God. So why don't you take it away? Let's go back to Monday first. What did you think of everything with the couples? And if you give out this rose, it means something.
Yeah, so yeah, it does mean something if you got the rose, because it's down to the final, right?
Yeah, but they
There's
gave out
only,
the roses and then they still broke up. So the roses
well,
didn't mean
yeah, I
anything.
didn't, yeah, the rose, well, yeah, I don't know why they did that. It was very, very odd, because there's Erin and Genevieve, and
Yes.
clearly they're not suited for each other, no matter how hard they tried. And
Yeah.
I actually commend Erin for actually sticking up for himself and saying exactly how he felt.
Yeah.
And I think that Genevieve was pretty shocked, because I have this feeling that she thinks that there's no way that anyone would break up with me,
Right.
especially Erin. She has this air about her, like no
Yeah.
matter how bad I treat him, he's not going to break up
Yes.
with
He's
me.
always going to come back.
Right. But he
Yes.
had enough is enough. And you're right. Erin, you're 100% right. Every time they have a disagreement or something's not right, Genevieve decides to pack her bags and leave.
Yes.
This is
Yes.
very telling of couples even before they make it serious or get engaged. If this is
Yes.
happening now, it's not going to get better
No.
when you go out into the real world or start. It's just going to get accentuated and even worse. And you're going to start regretting, you're going to start being resentful to each other, and you're going to regret that you actually moved to the next step. So those two, I'm so glad they're not together because
Yes.
they need people that, you know, are
Yes.
their cup of
I
tea.
mean,
They
without
didn't.
their friends coming to the rescue, because remember, she was packing again, and Victoria was like, what are you doing? And she's like, well, what did he say? Well, did you talk to him? And she's like, wait a minute. And off she goes running. So that was like what I put as one of my cuckoo customers of the night. The other one for me was Kate. I always remember when Kate came in and she was just going around from guy to guy.
Yes.
And she made it seem like she really wanted Logan. But then she said to him that time, I'll take this rose, but I want more.
Right.
I'm like, what more do you expect on an island? Really? And so she let him pour his heart out and tell him all those things. And then she says, based on how I feel, I don't want your rose.
No,
And
I'm
then
not
she
going to
gets in the
accept it.
car. No, and then she gets in the car and she's like, I want a man with a big bleep and a big bank account. And I thought, so why did you stay all this time? Why did you stay there all that
Yeah,
time? Why
that
didn't you
didn't
just?
make sense. I really didn't understand that, but it's good that they
Yes.
didn't stay together because they weren't meant to be. The other couple that I thought that they were going to split up. I don't know why in my head I thought they were going to split up, but they didn't. Michael and Danielle.
Yes, and she's moving to Ohio where he lived. I was
Yeah,
like,
wherever. Where is it? Acrid or
whoa,
somewhere? I forget where,
yeah,
but she's going to be, yeah, so they're together.
yes,
She's met his son, and it seems like they're just having a really, really good relationship together. Obviously, if
yeah.
she's going to move in with him, this is a huge, huge, huge step
This
for
is a
them, but
huge commitment. Yes.
it
My
is. But I'm
favorite couple, of course, are still in love. That's Brandon and Shanae. And
yes,
I mean, the way he looks at her and talks to her. And I was so proud when they didn't get you can get married right here, right now.
right,
It's like, go
right.
away. Go away. I want my wedding to be my wedding. This is not about your ratings right now. So they're still going strong as far as I know. They're still in love. So I was happy about that one.
I was happy about that one, and I'm glad they didn't get married right there and then. What a stupid, that Jesse guy, so stupid.
I I
Would you
told you
really
he's a
get married?
terrible, terrible host.
He's a very bad host because when he was hosting with the live audience, he did not
Yes.
seem like he cared. He was just going through the motions,
Yeah.
especially
It was like
when,
they had cue cards and he was reading the cue cards. He had
yeah,
the emotion of a slug,
yeah,
you know,
Victoria and Johnny,
Johnny.
they got engaged and they're no longer together. And she is now with, I don't recall that Greg guy. I don't know what season he was in. Do you recall who this Greg guy is that she's now
I don't know
dating?
if he was on one of the different seasons or if Greg, remember in the beginning, there were some guys when there was a lot of couples and I don't recall him at all, but I'm like, okay, if
I
you're
don't
happy, I'm
recall
happy.
him, but it's very sad because when he was about to propose to her on the beach, it seemed like that was it. They had found their perfect match. All the words they said to each other, how loving they were. I could never have found someone like you, and blah, 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 and
Yeah.
all this. And then when they got on stage, they were actually really spiteful to each other, which was really 360 degrees change from what they
Yes.
were.
Very snippy.
Yeah, so that, I mean, I guess if that's the case, then it's better not to be together. But yeah, and
Yes.
the night, what I really liked was, shoot, what's her name? Jill.
Elijah.
I
Huh?
was going to say Jill.
Oh,
Jill,
Jill and
and what's his name?
Jason.
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 Can you believe
Yes.
that? He swept her off her feet and they
Yes.
whisked away out of the studio.
Yes. So they forgave all the, miscommunications. So that was good.
I was really
Yes.
upset because I really wanted her to be with him, and he didn't know a good thing when he had it or when he
Right.
sees it. So I'm so
Right.
glad that he had time to reflect and think about the relationship and all the women that
Yes.
he's been going out with. And now he knows that it's so. I'm going to do a little bit of investigation on my part on social media about their relationship because I had
And
not
see if
seen
it's still
anything.
going. Yeah.
Well, that was up to date. The last one where he whisked her off her feet in the studio with
Right.
all the live audience. I had looked before it came to this point. So obviously she's not going to spill the beans on her social media.
Right. No. Right.
So looking forward to
And then
checking out.
there was like Shanae and I can't remember the other woman, but
Oh,
they were older
the
women with the
twins. The
twins. Yeah.
twins.
And I mean, I thought her communication with him, when she said to him, I don't want a TikTok boyfriend, I want a man. And he was so cute because you can tell he's a young man. And he was like, well, the last time I looked in my pants, I was a man, and there was just certain aspects of season 8 that was just so off the rails, so unkind, unloving. Who else was there? Oh, the part that I really loved is when Elijah tried to get Rodney back and he said, no, thank you. I was like, yes, because that's not how you treat somebody. He pours out his heart to you. He tells you he loves you. He can see himself marrying you, making a life with you. You go after Justin, who we all know is a little bit of a puppy doggy. And Justin's like, well, I don't know if I really feel that way about you. And then she comes crawling back and it's like, no, not today.
That was, I give her balls for actually wanting to get back with Rodney. And I'm so glad
Yes.
Rodney didn't get back together with her. It's kind of like the audacity of her after
Yes.
Justin dumped
Yes.
her, because you know that if Justin had accepted her, she would be off in the
Oh, she
sunset
would
with
stay
him.
there because she said
Yeah.
that, before her and Rodney decided that it was okay for her to see other people, even when she asked him and he said, I would prefer you didn't, yet I know we're here to find love. So he said he didn't want her to go. He just didn't go. I will not have you going. He just said, I don't want you to go, but I know we're here to find love. So I was like, oh my God. So that one was like, and then there was the couple. I can't think, I think his name
Oh,
was Michael.
Tyler. Tyler.
Oh yeah, Tyler. And remember how they did the rose ceremony and then he went to her and he says, I really care and I feel for you and I'd like to continue this away from, the area and go back into real life. And I don't think they're still together, but at least they tried.
Tyler, what was her name? Tyler, and was it Megan? I forget her
I think it
name.
was Megan. Yeah.
Yeah, I kind
So
of liked them during the season, but now things have
yes,
changed. But we'll keep an update because I want to see what happens to Brandon and Serena.
I
I
know.
like
I hope
them.
they have a beautiful, beautiful marriage. And, I know when he did Michelle's season, and he met her parents and he loved her parents and he loved her. I mean, the look on his face, it was just so endearing. And the way he looks at Shanae is even deeper. So we wish you lots and lots of success. And we hope you're going to have an amazing life together, whatever and however that looks.
Yeah, Brandon and Serena forever.
Yes. You're our holdout for the future because everybody else I don't know.
Yeah. They had Sally back on, but then she didn't say one word.
No. And I was like, well, why are you here? You're just eye candy? I don't understand.
I didn't understand that either.
So this week for our COVID update, it's a little cold outside, so there are more people going inside. We're doing lots of travel. A lot of people are starting to get sick. And the one thing that I will tell you is when everybody was wearing a mask, we didn't get sick. We didn't get a cold. We didn't get the flu, allergies. I didn't even have allergies. So I know the masks are a pain in the butt. However, if you're going to be around people, like Dr. Fauci said this morning in his last press release, take a test before you go, and you're going to be around other people, because apparently where we are now with this variant, it's almost a lot of the times is asymptomatic. You get it and you don't know you have it, or you get it and you're really sick, and it's sort of like extremes. And then we got the RSV, and we got flu season, and all of that is culminating all together. So as you travel and you're out with people, just be careful. If they're, I wear my mask when I'm out because I don't know where these people have been. And, it was interesting. You were talking about Oak Ridge. The last time I was in the mall, I probably was like one of 20 people in the whole mall, but did nobody care that I had a mask on? And that's what I tell people. Do what makes you feel comfortable. If you want to wear a mask, wear your mask. If you don't
Yeah,
want to wear a
nobody
mask,
cares. And you should do yes, exactly. Do what makes you feel comfortable and don't worry about what other people are thinking.
yes, yes. And then, we always try every, chat to talk a little bit about climate control. So on the 18th of November, there was a snowstorm that did the East Coast, like New York. What was that? It was wasn't Buffalo. It came on down around the edge, down to Atlanta, down to Georgia. Okay, that whole side of the country, they got a snowstorm. Buffalo received some places as low as 77 inches up to 80 inches of snow. That to me is cold. You can't tell me, though, that's just weather. We have got to make sure, as Rosetta and I always tell you, vote, 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 vote. We have got to make sure we start taking the crazies out of our politics. We need people in office who are going to seriously look at what's going on with the climate. That's cold. I mean, people came out of their homes and they couldn't even see their cars. No colors. I mean, trucks were completely covered. And the snowpack, that's why a lot of them have the pitch roofs. Like here in California, if we got snow like that, it would collapse our homes because our roofs are not built to withstand the weight of snow. And people are out there trying to, plow their driveways through and their walkways. And, Californians can't drive in the rain. I couldn't imagine them trying to drive in 6-8 inches of snow.
They can't even drive in no rain.
Well, let's just be clear about that. So for us, we just want you to be aware that this is more than just, if we ignore it, it'll go away. We have to figure out things that we can do as citizens. I'm always looking, like Rosetta, she'll say, if you go from standard light bulbs to LED light bulbs, it cuts down on the amount of, electricity that's required to get that device to perform. So I'm always looking for little tidbits. If you have tidbits that you've done, please put them in the comments below. We have people out here now during the winter. Gas used to be the cheapest component. So you'd pay for electricity higher in the summer just to take care of, air conditioning and keep your family cool. And then in the winter, you'd kind of recap and make things up. Now, not so much. I mean, it's expensive to do anything. But let me tell you something, 80 inches of snow, that's a lot of snow.
That is a lot of snow. Yes, it is.
I love it. So, as always, we feel the love in the room. We are so grateful for you taking the opportunity to listen to our conversations. And we love it if you would, let us know what you think, give us some feedback, because we'll talk about anything. We love talking about things. And as you notice, we try not to accentuate the negative. We know there's a lot more things going on in the world. We're just not talking about them because we want them to go away. We're not ignoring them. Trust me, we know what's going on. It's just that there has to be some joy and happiness in life. There just has to be.
There does, exactly. I really agree. And we try and make it not so serious. So, but if you would like us to talk about anything, put it in the comments below because we can do some
Yes.
research and talk about it. And
Yes.
yeah, we just really enjoy our chats. We love talking about different topics because we're all about the globe and everything and
Yes.
what's happening in the world today. And we are very, very happy that you tuned in today. And don't forget to hit the thumb icon to show that you liked our video. Please consider subscribing to our channel and hit the bell notification. Oops, did it go? Bell notification. And we love you all. Thank you so much. And we are Silicon Valley Girls Chat Over Tea. And
And
remember
remember
to
to
always
always
keep
keep
smiling.
smiling.
Bye-bye now.
Bye-bye.
Take care, everyone. Have a safe
Yes.
and happy
Happy
Thanksgiving. Happy
Thanksgiving.
Thanksgiving.